Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about the forgotten parts of Grand Theft Auto Online. So, an article yesterday came out on the website Kotaku. Many of you guys probably follow this. They do some awesome gaming articles. And a writer on this website, Zach Zewzwin, hopefully I'm pronouncing your last name correctly. Again, I am very sorry if I'm not. He made an article titled The Forgotten Parts of Grand Theft Auto Online. And I thought it was a really cool article, and I wanted to share it with you guys. And it's kind of funny because it comes out just a day after I talked about the forgotten things that we used to do in online that I no longer do anymore. Some of those activities were like heists, going on my yacht. Well, in today's video, it's all about the forgotten parts of online. So I'll leave that article in the description if you want to check it out for yourself. And in the comment section down below, let me know what are some of the other forgotten parts of Grand Theft Auto Online that I didn't mention in this video. Now, keep in mind, before we do start this list, I want to say that while some of these features and activities may seem useless in 2016, they all do serve a purpose, and that is to make the world feel real. And while we might not use some of the features that I'm going to talk about in this video, I do still like knowing that they're there and that they make the world feel more dynamic and useful. So I just wanted to throw that in there before we start because I know some people will definitely mention that. But like I said, without the way, let's not waste any more time and let's get it started. So Kotaku starts out the article by saying Grand Theft Auto Online has changed a lot since 2013, thanks to an ever-growing list of new cars, guns, and heists. Along the way, some parts of GTA have become forgotten or even removed. Let's take a look back, shall we? And the first thing they mention is arm wrestling. So arm wrestling is one of the more interesting activities you could do in the game. Some people will say it is the least fun thing you can do in Grand Theft Auto Online. In order to arm wrestle, you have to like slam the left stick left and right over and over and over again. And eventually a winner emerges, and that's pretty much it. The only issue with arm wrestling is unless you have a friend that literally wants to do it with you, you're not going to find someone. I can't tell you how many times I just tried to, start up an arm wrestling session. No one would join. I mean, I couldn't give away money for people to join this arm wrestling session. And the fact that it takes a long time to get into a game because of how Rockstar's servers are and how long it takes to get out of there, you spend more time loading in and out of the game than you actually do playing the arm wrestling mode. So that's probably why no one plays this game mode. It doesn't give you a ton of money, doesn't give you a ton of RP. You can only do it with one other person, and that's why it's one of the forgotten parts of Grand Theft Auto Online. The next thing that Kotaku mentions is another game mode, and this is darts. So they say if wiggling an analog stick isn't your thing, you can always play darts. Now, one of the things that is a real negative about darts is you'll have to drive all the way out in the middle of the Grand Sonora Desert to a small bar, the Yellow Jack Inn. This is the only place in all of San Andreas where you can play darts for whatever reason, and this is probably no wonder why nobody will ever play darts. So the game mode itself is pretty simple and lasts a little bit longer than arm wrestling does, where you actually keep score and you rotate between players shooting the darts at the dartboard. And if this is really your thing, this could be exciting and fun. Although you don't really get any cool rewards for this, there is an achievement that you can get for both playing darts and arm wrestling. So that's probably the only reason why you would jump into something like that, is if you're achievement hunting. But other than that, the drive out to the Grand Sonora Desert, how long it takes to finish a game, how long it takes to load in, darts just doesn't seem worth it either, and that's why it is also a forgotten part of Grand Theft Auto Online. Okay, the third thing on this list is the companion iFruit app. So like Grand Theft Auto Online, the iFruit app launched in a pretty rough state, but once you were able to get it working, there were a couple things that you could do, and believe it or not, there is one or two cool things that you can do with this app. Aside from getting some cool discounts on the Life Invader site, you can use the app to create sort of a custom car. You can do certain things to change the license plate, which you can see I've done here. Through some certain methods, you can also change the color of stock wheels, which you'll also see me do in this video right now. So many people forget about this app and that it exists. I really forgot about it until I needed it one day to change the license plate on one of my cars, and then I started doing that with all of them and changing the stock wheels. So if you play around with it, you can actually have a lot of fun. But there's also some forgotten parts about this game as well. Chop has a virtual game on the app as well that you can play, and it actually will correlate to things that you can do for Chop in the game. You can improve the actual Chop as well as unlock new collars for him to wear as well. Basically, you feed him, you clean up after him. I don't understand why you would play this. It's a game within a game for an app that's supposed to help you for a game. Yes, I know that's kind of confusing, but that is exactly what this is. I haven't played this once at all. I haven't really had a need or a use to be entertained by this Chop app, but if you forgot about this, maybe this is something you could try out in Grand Theft Auto Online, but for me, this is certainly one of the most forgotten parts of all time. The next thing on Kotaku's list is ATM machines. So ATM machines are everywhere in Grand Theft Auto Online, and just like in real life, you can use these machines to deposit money or take out cash. However, most people in-game, including myself, will just open up their phones and do everything via the in-game interface instead of going to any one of these ATM kiosks throughout the world. They're kind of hard to find, and they really aren't marked on the map. And this user or this writer on Kotaku's site says that he visited an ATM and just stayed there for about 2 hours, and he noticed that 0 people went up to it. So he basically says that ATMs are kind of useless. Now, one thing I have heard is that the ATMs will allow you to deposit and withdraw a larger sum of money. I'm not exactly sure the specific amounts of that, but if that is the case, then that would make the ATMs a little bit more useful. But right now, they're just simply everything you can do on your phone. However, they are a little bit more useful than the ones in Grand Theft Auto 4, because the ones in Grand Theft Auto 4, the only thing they did was show your current balance, which is a number that you could easily find in the top right corner of your Grand Theft Auto 4 HUD. The next thing they have is the mechanic. So it was an original idea. If a player needed a car, they could just call their mechanic and he would drive it out to the player's location. The only problem with this is it really never seemed to work. Sometimes the mechanic wouldn't even respond. Sometimes he would tell you he was too busy to deliver your vehicle. And even if he did pick up the phone, it wasn't a guarantee that your car would get there in one piece or even get there at all. Sometimes he would drive off, or he would speed off and stop and then get out and drive it in water, and it would be completely crashed. So sometimes it just didn't work at all. The mechanic would do some of the most stupid things of all time. And we know that in February of 2014, the mechanic was removed from the game. So RIP mechanic, February 2014, and now the vehicle just spawns into the game. I don't know about you guys, but the mechanic seemed to be a more realistic way to have cars delivered. And honestly, sometimes I had fun chasing around Johnny, who delivered our cars. He would always say, "I'm Johnny on the spot." And, every time he did that, I felt like it was really cool. And once again, made a little bit more of a realistic environment for Grand Theft Auto Online, because instead of your car just popping up out of midair, it was actually delivered by someone. Like, you had called it in and had it delivered to your location. So that's another forgotten part of Grand Theft Auto Online, the mechanic, because honestly, some people might have forgotten that he even exists because it was removed in February 2014. Which means that if you had a next generation console, you might not have even experienced the mechanic if you didn't play on last generation PC guys for that regard. So the mechanic might be missed for all sorts of people, and some people might not even have known of his existence in the game. Next up on the list is car washes. So you guys might not have even have known this, but GTA 5 has car washes. Now, there's only 2 of them located in the game, and they're actually pretty close to each other, but this is something that you can actually do. Honestly, I rarely use the car washes because anytime my car is dirty, like if it has dirt on it, it's typically like missing a door, or the windshield is broken, or the fender and bumper are bent off. So really, when that happens, I'll just either drive it into my garage, or I'll drive it to the Los Santos custom shop, and that'll fix everything. There has been like maybe 0.0001% of the time where I have had a dirty car that is in pristine, perfect condition. Now, there are some downsides to the car wash. You cannot go in first person, which is kind of dumb. I wish that you could have a first person car wash experience, but of course, that is not the thing. So do they really serve a purpose in online? I'm really not too sure. It's like the Los Santos custom shop without the repair feature and a different animation. I don't know. Maybe you guys find it calming or relaxing. I'm not sure, but there are 2 car washes in the game. For many people, they are likely forgotten about. Up next, we have the roller coaster and the Ferris wheel. So these amusement rides are located at the Del Perro Pier, which is Grand Theft Auto 5's version of the Santa Monica Pier. And I don't really know too many people that go out of their way to ride this. Number one, it takes a long time. Like, if you get there, sometimes you'll have to wait on the roller coaster itself to get there. Number two, you have to like get inside of the car, and then there's a timer, and You have to wait for everyone to get in. And number 3, the ride itself takes a long time. So probably like 5 minutes total. And the Ferris wheel takes even longer because once you're inside of the Ferris wheel, you can't get out until your car reaches the bottom. And it is a slow process. So again, you can earn some RP with this. I guess if you want to have fun with like a full party of people, you can, but many times it's not that exciting. Honestly, I'd rather go on a real roller coaster, and it doesn't really offer too much for us to do in online. I remember that at one point, Rockstar offered like double RP for going on the Ferris wheel and the the roller coaster, and I thought that's the craziest thing of all time. So these 2 rides, likely some forgotten parts as well, because there's really no incentive to go on them or do them. All right, and finally, last but not least today, we have the movie theaters. So believe it or not, if you want to like kill some time in online, you can watch some GTA Online films. So there's 3 movies, and I think they last like 15 or 20 minutes each. So if you are really that bored in Grand Theft Auto Online, you can go to a movie theater and actually check out some pretty interesting stuff. I can't say the movies are that great or that exciting. Most of them are parodies. I know that one of them actually features a version of Liberty City, which is actually kind of cool. I think it's the movie that Michael made, which is Meltdown. So I think you can check that out as well. And this is also just a great way if you want to avoid people, if you want to get rid of a bounty. You could just sit in the movie theater for like 20 or 30 minutes, and obviously no one's going to be able to get in there to kill you. So again, the movie theaters are kind of overlooked, and I'm sure there's a ton of people in the game that have never actually gone inside of the theaters, even once, and probably even by accident. But anyways, those are some of the forgotten parts of Grand Theft Auto Online. As always, I'll leave that link to the Kotaku article in the description so you can check it out for yourself. If you guys did go and enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. Let me know what some of your forgotten parts are of Grand Theft Auto Online in the comments section down below. And as always, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. Without the way, guys, like I said, thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.